All right, all right. Problem number three. Problem number three says draw a line with the given intercepts. Now, again, we can't graph this in our calculator because our calculator says we must have it in y equals. Now, can you change this to y equals? Yes, it's actually one very easy step, but I'm not going to focus on that right now. What I'm going to focus on here is standard form. So, looking at the equation, I'm given x plus y equals 8. All right. So, x plus y is equal to 8. Now, remember, how do we graph a standard form? Well, the nice thing about it is that we can graph this by using our intercepts. Well, how do we find the intercepts? Same as before. To find the x-intercept, we let y equal 0. And to find the y-intercept, we let x equal 0. Simple as that, right? So look, take your equation, x plus y equals 8. To find the x-intercept, we let y equal 0. Well, if y is equal to 0, I get x plus 0 is equal to 8. So what does x equal? X equals 8. If you write this as a coordinate point, we get 8 comma 0. Why? Because y was equal to 0, guys. Remember, it's x comma y. Now let's look at the next one. To find the y-intercept, we let x equal 0. So again, we take our same problem. Now x was 0 this time, so I get 0 plus y is equal to 8. Well, 0 plus y is just y. Y is equal to 8. What is your coordinate point here? This one is 0, 8. Why? Because x was 0. And there it is. X-intercept is 8. Y-intercept is 8. You have everything you need to graph. So we can go to our graph. We use our line tool. My y-intercept, again, we have the point here where it tells us. So my y-intercept was 0, 8, which is that point. My x-intercept was 0, 8. Bada bing, bada boom, there it is. We graphed our line. So notice the key difference. All three methods, slope-intercept, point-slope, and standard form, can help us graph, but we just have different bits of information. Notice how here I don't know my slope. Can I find it? Yeah, it's actually really easy. You can do your little triangle here. Down 8, run 8, which is in the next problem, but nonetheless, that is how we find slope. All right, all right. Let's go to problem number 4. Again, use the intercepts to graph the equation. Can you solve this for y? Definitely. But for our purposes, we are going to find our x and y intercepts first. So here I have negative x plus 4y is equal to 8. Now again, I know there's calculators out there that can graph this as is. But I'm telling you right now, your graphing calculator that you're going to use on your test cannot do this. So please don't use any outside calculators. Make sure that you're graphing it and getting the practice. So again, here's the equation in standard form. I have to find my x and y intercept. So to find the x intercept, I let y equal 0. To find the y intercept, I let x equal 0. Right? That is the same two things. Always. So here I have negative x plus 4y is equal to 8. Let y equal 0, so I have negative x plus 4 times 0 is equal to 8. 4 times 0 goes away, so I'm left with negative x equals 8. How do we solve for x here? We divide by that negative 1. So x equals negative 8. And remember, in point form, this is negative 8 comma 0 because we let y equal 0. X and y. To find the y-intercept, well, we let x equal 0 now. So again, we start with the same problem. Negative x plus 4y equals 8, or rather the same equation, and plug in everything that we know. Negative 0 plus 4y is equal to 8. Well, negative 0 is negative, it's just 0. That's actually nothing. So I just write 4y is equal to 8. To solve for y, I divide by 4 on both sides. So I get that y is equal to 2. So my y-intercept is 0, 2. Again, guys, x is 0, so this is x comma y. There it is. So my x-intercept is negative 8. My y-intercept is 2. We can graph this on our problem now. So here my x was negative 8. Negative 8. My y was 2. And there it is. As you can see, we have our graphed line. Bada bing, bada boom. How much time we got? Plenty of time. Beautiful. Let's go to problem number 5. More of the same. They want you to graph using the intercept form. So again, 2x minus 3y is equal to 6. Again, some of you guys can already pick up the pattern. You don't even have to write this much or these many steps anymore because you're able to recognize what you have to do. And again, by all means, if you could do this on your own without having to write anything, by all means, knock yourself out. So to find the x-intercept, we let y equal 0. To find the y-intercept, we let x equal 0. So letting y is equal to 0, I'm going to plug it in straight as is, right? So 2x minus 3 times 0 is equal to 6. All I did was just plug in 0 for y, right? Negative 3 times 0 is just 0, so I'm left with 2x equals 6. To solve for x, I divide by 2. So x equals 3, which is what? My x-intercept is 3, 0. To figure out my y-intercept, y let y equals 0, so I have 2 times 0 minus 3y is equal to 6. I'm left with negative 3y is equal to 6. To solve for y, I divide by that negative 3. Y is equal to a negative 2. But remember, we're going off of a coordinate point because we're graphing. So my point is 0, negative 2. There it is. X-intercept, y-intercept. So my x-intercept here is 3, 0. There it is. Always check, guys, with the top part here. It's 3, 0. My y-intercept is 0, negative 2. Bam. There it is. All right, all right. Let's go to problem number 6. Problem number 6 says, graph the linear function represented by the table. Identify the x-intercept, y-intercept, and slope of the graph and the 0 of the function. Now this one, they actually give us a table, so we don't have to really do much. We can actually just graph these points. So I'm going to graph it literally right in front of you because we should know how to graph this. It doesn't matter what 2 points we pick. So I'm going to pick this point, negative 9, negative 7. So I start at the origin. X is negative 9, so I go to the left 9. Negative 7, I went down to negative 7. And again, guys, remember, check over here. Make sure you're getting the right coordinates. There it is, negative 9, negative 7. I'm going to use the last point to show you that it doesn't matter what 2 I use, right? This is a linear function, so it will be a line regardless. I'm going to use 2, 4. So start at the origin, x 2, y is 4. There it is. So we graphed this line, and all these points are on this line. All right. Now, look at question number 1. It says, what is the x-intercept? Well, the question, can you just look at the graph and analyze what you're seeing? So the x-intercept is where the graph crosses the x-axis. So looking at here, where does this graph cross the x-axis? Well, this is the x-axis. It is crossing at a negative 2. Don't reinvent the wheel. Don't sit here and overthink it, right? You know the vocabulary. X-intercept is negative 2. Part 3 says, what is a y-intercept? Well, let's look at our graph. The y-intercept here is where the graph crosses the y-axis. This is my y-axis. The graph is crossing it at 2. So my y-intercept is 2. Slope. Ooh, now they're trying to flip it on us, but it is okay because we know how to find slope. Remember, slope is the rate of change between any 2 points. So here, pick 2 points that are on the line and find the rate of change. Now again, in this case, I'm going to pick the x and y intercept because they are nice numbers. Notice how here to here. What is my rise? My rise is 2. 1, 2. What is my run? 2. So rise over run, and I probably shouldn't do this, but I'll do it just because I want you to be sure that everyone is getting this correct problem. I can actually just draw it here. Beautiful. So look, I picked 2 points. Here's my first point. Here's my second point. My rise is how many rises that I go from this point to this one. So it's 2. Look, it's 1, 2. So my rise was a positive. Again, I apologize. I'm doing this with the pencil and my mouse. What is my, oh my goodness. How do I undo that? Yikes. You know what? Okay. Let's just leave it at that here. Let's erase this. There we go. All right. Now we're going to do my run. What is my run? Well, from here, I ran 1, 2. Notice I went to right, so it's also positive 2. Positive 2. What is 2 divided by 2? 1. So my slope happens to be a 1. And that is the easiest way to find slope from a standard form. You take your x and y intercepts and you draw your triangle. Now this is a new vocabulary. What is the zero of the function? This is nothing more than just a fancy word for the word x-intercept. That's all it is. So go back over here. What is your x-intercept of this graph? It's where the graph crosses the x-axis. So it is a -2. So remember, x-intercept now has a new name or a new word that we can use it, which is known as the zero. So zero is just a new word for the word x-intercept. All right. And there it is. Check it and we're done. How much time we got? 12. Let me see this problem. All right, so looking at this one, it says, write an equation of the line passing through the 2 points given, or give the answer in standard form. All right. So here, this won't take me a while, so I'll start on the new video. Give me 1 second.